Let's read it. A virtual phone number iOS app with millions of downloads in the US has exposed its users' data, including messages, media, and sender and recipient details. Nice. While there are many reasons to have a virtual phone number, privacy is the most common. This is not lost on second phone number app creators, as its app store description starts with, "Need a second phone number for private calls and texts?" Guess what? You're effed. The CyberNews research team has found that the popular iPhone app's misconfigured Firebase instance exposed user details likely not meant for the outside world. Some users use the app for dating, others to conduct business. Skilled attackers would have ample data to blackmail the app users who used it for personal purposes. Once again, this is essentially the equivalent of an exposed S3 bucket because it's not configured or there's no security. It's unclear how many people could be impacted by the leak. The second phone number app shows that it could have been downloaded nearly 4 million times, with over 3 million in the US alone. According to our team, when the exposed Firebase instance was discovered, over 700 SMS messages, including sender and recipient phone numbers, as well as recipient names set by the app user, were revealed. However, the true scope of the leak could be far greater. For one, Firebase serves as a temporary database, which means that the actual number of data stored by the service could be much higher. Attackers are fully aware of how Firebase works and could use it to their advantage. Here are the secrets. API key, client ID, database URL, Google App ID, project ID, reverse client ID, storage bucket, GAD application identifier, and more. In other cases, our researchers discovered that apps meant to track family members or secretly store sensitive data were leaking troves of sensitive data. Now, I had to go and look up these articles. I'm going to be covering these in maybe tomorrow. I need to pre-read them. I need to read them a bit and get a sense of what's in them before I bring them up. But these articles in particular are extremely, so I just want to be clear. This isn't from this app. These two articles are from two different apps. So it's they brought this up because it's related. And I've said it before, I'm going to sound like a broken clock, but if you're somebody who hasn't seen this stream before or who watches in the future or whatever, I cannot stress enough how many times I have proven, and I mean proven, it's not a correlation, it's a direct causation. It's a one-to-one. It necessarily, logically, step one leads to step two, leads to conclusion. Our inability to write quality software, to create quality websites, to create performant, well, both software and websites, even video games to some degree, because video games are also an attack vector from a security perspective, to understand basic security guidelines like how to secure an S3 bucket, how to secure a Firebase database, all of these things that we're not encouraging programmers to learn as first principles, fundamentals. You must be doing these things out of the box. They can literally destroy people's lives, if not 404 people's lives. And I have proven that before with several case studies of cybersecurity exploits and the outcomes of the exploit of the cybersecurity vulnerability. People lose their entire savings. People cannot get basic necessary care. They do not have access to it, or the systems that they rely on fail them, and unfortunately they lose their lives. This has real world impact, and one day you have no idea whether your lack of knowledge on fundamental principles of how to operate in this tech industry, which, by the way, it's not that hard to pick up. I know everybody makes it sound hard. You watch a big tech content creator and he makes it sound like it's really difficult to understand all these complex things, and he brings up a big chart and he does this like overlapping thing and like, look over here and like this overlaps with that. And it's like, no, it's not that hard. These things should be simple and easy, and they are. And you have no idea how it would impact somebody that you care about. So I want to stress that, and I want to cover these two articles because I didn't know that they existed before I read them this morning, and I'm going to bring these up again. So yes, our phones have been tapped since 2001, if not earlier. Why would anyone trust VoIP apps? I don't know. Yeah, I stopped using it a long time ago too. Every cheating husband is in shambles right now. Yeah, exactly. So and I thought this was interesting as well. Cyber News researchers downloaded 156,000 iOS apps, around 8% of all apps on the Apple Store, discovering that developers leave plain text credentials in the application code accessible to anyone. The findings reveal that 71% of the apps analyzed leak at least one secret, with an average app's code exposing 5.2 secrets. These numbers are bonkers. This is inexcusable.